Always good to get that classic Nick Cage fix. Let's look into Renfield. Okay, so Renfield is the new horror comedy vampire movie of 2023 right now. Now, for some reason, we did get this movie here in Australia like a month later, like after the US release, but I mean, better late than never. So basically, we follow the story of Renfield, who is a familiar for Count Dracula, and basically they move to a new city, but however, things start to sort of get a bit out of hand, where Renfield is basically trying to get out of a bit of a toxic relationship between him and Count Dracula. Now, what really made me enjoy this movie quite a bit was definitely the cast in this movie. Like, you have Nicolas Cage playing Count Dracula, which is, I kind of feel like, is one of his dream roles. Like, I mean, we have seen him in Vampire's Kiss, but him actually playing Count Dracula, like, you just get that Nick Cage flavor of him playing just an over-the-top version of Count Dracula in this movie, and to be honest, I really enjoyed it. Now, we do get Nicholas Hoult playing Renfield. Now, what the highlights for me for this movie, definitely the chemistry between Count Dracula and Nick Hoult in this movie, I really enjoyed. Like, I was not bored, I was not sort of taking out of it, and it just gives me the type of pleasure when it comes to a horror comedy like this, when you just get that chemistry between two actors, and it just works really well with this. Now, we do get Awkwafina in this. Now, Awkwafina, I'm actually starting to like in other media. Like, I do really enjoy her cop character in this movie, but however, the only little flaw I do find with this movie that I kind of find a bit noticeable is definitely the mix between her investigating these mobsters that have corrupted the police department in this city that she works in. Like, even though the story of Count Dracula and Renfield and Awkwafina's character do clash together, it does feel like that these two should have been completely different movies. But even as well too, like, the mobsters stuff, I do like the idea of it, but I feel like it could have been a little bit executed better. But overall, it did not take me away from enjoying this movie as well. Personally, like I said, what I do enjoy about this is definitely the chemistry between Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. And to be honest, like, just watching these two together when it comes to Renfield, you know, doing the duties of Count Dracula as a familiar, and then Count Dracula, you know, basically, you know, being as evil as you can see. Like, I just absolutely love the chemistry between these two characters. Another thing I really did enjoy about watching this movie was the gore as well. Like, there is plenty of it, and there were even some violent moments which I was not expecting as well, and I was just entertained by the stunt work and choreography, and also the action sequences, especially when you see Renfield and what his character can do against all these people with, like, guns and, you know, corrupt cops and, you know, just regular thugs that just are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, it's just so entertaining to watch. Now, another thing about this movie as well, it's not a very long movie either. In fact, it's only like about an hour and a half, but it's definitely a good hour and a half. And if I feel like that this movie was going to drag on any longer, I'd feel like it would lose me after maybe like an hour and 10 minutes. But I'm really glad that they put in enough to just sort of make it work. But like I said, with the storyline of Count Dracula and Renfield, and then you got Awkwafina's cop with the, you know, the mobsters. Like, it's like I said, it just feels like that they had two ideas for two completely different movies and they just decided to smash it into one movie. Which, to be fair, like I said, nothing wrong with the particular way they executed it, but it is a bit distracting when I sort of notice this. Now, overall with this movie, like I said, I do enjoy Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult, and Awkwafina in this movie quite a lot. I do love the characters that were in this movie. The mashing between the two different storylines, like I was talking about in this review, like I said, it is a bit distracting, but could have worked as different movies. But if they sort of played with it a little bit more, it could have been a bit better. But it's a movie that I actually was invested in and really enjoyed. Like, even as well, like the violence in it, the action, even the style of the actual movie as well. It did feel like a bit of a comic book come to life. It gave me a little bit of like the cinematography of John Wick's kind of, but overall with this movie, like, if you're a person that's into vampire movies or, you know, movies or TV shows like What We Do in the Shadows, this is definitely a movie that I reckon you guys will enjoy. So it's definitely a movie I reckon you guys are either going to like or going to hate, but I feel like it's a movie that is worthy of a rewatch. I feel like I could watch this again. But what do you guys think of Renfield? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow my socials up here as well. And as always, as I say at the end of these videos, get me some goddamn M&Ms.
Miss Hoover, the movie's over.
Down in front!